Related story. Crown Casino hits back at Nine's deceitful campaign, with Page newspaper adds related story. Integrity investigation ordered into Crown Casino allegations. Related story. Crown Casino tampered with poker machines. Former staff allege Crown Casino has moved to defend itself as it faces further probes by regulators, the threat of a political inquiry and a hit to its share price. It follows days of allegations leveled against the company and reports linking the casino chain to organized crime. It is a messy web of allegations, denials and government inquiries. Here's our primer on the scandal so far, and what it could all mean going forward. What is it alleged Crown did? An investigation by Nine's The Sydney Morning Herald, The Age and 60 Minutes, which it said was based on tens of thousands of leaked internal Crown documents, alleged the casino was not doing its due diligence to ensure there are no links between junket operators and organized crime. It alleged junket operators lured gambling whales from mainland China, where gambling is banned. It also alleged that Crown Casino turned a blind eye to money laundering and that the company exploited weaknesses in Australia's visa system to fly in Chinese high rollers without appropriate vetting. The investigation featured the former Australian Border Force head Roman Kydlig, who told 60 Minutes two government ministers complained to him that Crown's VIP jets weren't receiving a facilitated service for private jets coming into Australia. What has Crown said? Crown Casino has denied the allegations, taking out newspaper advertisements headed, "Setting the Record Straight in the Face of a Deceitful Campaign Against Crown." In an advertising blitz on Thursday, the company said Crown's board was extremely concerned for its staff, shareholders and other stakeholders. The Crown advertisement accuses Nine of unfairly attempting to damage its reputation. Crown said it had a comprehensive anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism financing program which is subject to ongoing regulatory supervision by a USTRAC, and that Crown itself has a robust process for vetting junket operators, including a combination of probity, integrity and police checks. The company also pointed out that the junkets are not Crown's. They are independent operators who arrange for their customers to visit many casinos globally. Crown deals with junkets and their customers in essentially the same way as other international casinos, Crown said. Crown takes its regulatory obligations very seriously, and works closely with all of its regulatory agencies, including state and federal law enforcement bodies, has the government responded. When the allegations first aired, Prime Minister Scott Morrison said they were a matter for law enforcement, not the government. But since then, Attorney General Christian Porter said there were sufficient concerns raised to at least warrant further investigation. He has referred the allegations raised by Nine to the Australian Commission for Law Enforcement Integrity. Mr. Porter said the commission was the most appropriate body to consider the allegations and had the ability to hold hearings, exercise coercive powers and seize evidence. They have very significant investigatory powers, very significantly stronger than those of a parliamentary committee, obviously including the ability to apply for search warrants, issue notices that attract a criminal penalty, if not complied with. Crossbench MP Andrew Wilkie tried to push for a parliamentary inquiry, but didn't have the numbers because Labour and the coalition voted against it. But it was supported by Senator Jackie Lambie and the Greens. Mr. Wilkie had wanted the inquiry to not only investigate the most recent public allegations involving Crown Casino, but a series of previous allegations. Mr. Wilkie's motion in Parliament on Tuesday called for the inquiry to examine accusations of Crown Casino's links to organised crime, money laundering, improper activity by consular officials, tampering with poker machines, and domestic violence and drug trafficking on Crown property. What about the states where Crown has casinos? Crown operates in Perth and Victoria, with a further casino in the pipeline for Sydney. Crown can't exist without its arrangements with the state government, anti-gambling campaigner Stephen Mayne told the ABC. Victoria's Minister for Gaming and Liquor Regulation, Marlene Kairos, said she had asked the gaming regulator to re-examine the allegations as a matter of priority, and report back as soon as possible. She said she had also asked the Department of Justice to examine the regulatory arrangements of junket operators. The chief executive of the Victorian Commission for Gambling and Liquor Regulation said the regulator would work with other agencies that had more power over things like money laundering. "I've committed to getting back to the minister within the next 2 to 3 weeks," Catherine Meyer said. Meanwhile, a Western Australia state government spokesperson said the state's Gaming Commission was aware of the issues raised in recent media reporting. The commission is continuing to liaise with other regulatory authorities in relation to these matters to better understand the specific details of the allegations and any potential action, the spokesperson said in a statement. How are Crown's shares doing? On Tuesday, the ASX asked Crown to respond to the media allegations and to tell the market if its earnings would be affected. Crown Resorts told the market it had no information to explain a 7.7% drop in its share price on Monday and Tuesday. Crown shares slumped from a closing price of $12.67 on Friday afternoon to a low of $11.69 on Tuesday. It ended Thursday's trading slightly higher at $11.93. What is the integrity investigation's limitations? The investigation is being carried out by the Australian Commission for Law Enforcement Integrity, ACLEI. It can only probe the actions of federal law enforcement officers, not Crown employees or politicians. Mr. Wilkie said the referral to ACLEI is good, as far as it goes, but it just doesn't go far enough, given it does not have any power to inquire into the conduct of politicians and ministers. He wants a multi-agency investigation including the VCGLR, Victoria Police, the AFP, ASIO, Border Force, AAUSTRAC. Mr. Wilkie has also called for a federal anti-corruption agency to be established, saying some of the allegations aren't necessarily of criminal behavior, especially in the case of serving politicians, but they go to whether behavior is occurring, which might be quite improper. This isn't the first time Crown has been in trouble, is it? Now this is just the latest round of serious allegations surfacing against Crown Casino. In April 2018, Victoria's gambling regulator, the Victorian Commission for Gambling and Liquor, fined Crown $300,000 for tampering with poker machines. Whistleblowers from the casino had accused Crown of instructing staff to remove betting options from poker machines, in a scheme known as blanking buttons. Pokies have multiple betting options for each spin, including how big or small a stake a player wants to make. During March and April 2017, certain buttons were hidden on a number of its gaming machines so that only minimum and maximum betting options were available. Whistleblowers suspected that was to increase punter losses by forcing them into making higher bets. The regulator said Crown was being fined for removing betting buttons from 17 of its poker machines without approval. The fact that staff were told to remove betting options from pokies was first raised in Parliament by Mr. Wilkie in October 2017. The allegations tabled from whistleblowers also included that the company turned a blind eye to drug use and family violence, including allegations that punters soiled themselves while betting and Crown provided them with clean clothes so they could continue gambling. Parliament also heard that staff were instructed to use different player ID cards when processing transactions over $10,000, to avoid reporting to AUSTRAC, the National Anti-Money Laundering Agency. What could this mean for Crown? There could be a number of mechanisms used to investigate Crown and other Australian casinos. On Wednesday, Nine reported that the Australian Criminal Intelligence Commission, ACIC, would conduct a special investigation into organised crime in Australian casinos. A commission spokeswoman told the ABC the Targeting Criminal Wealth special investigation was not a new investigation, but an existing one. It aims to disrupt and deter criminal groups by collecting evidence and intelligence about financially motivated crime, the spokeswoman said. The investigation could also look at Australia's other main casino operator, Star Entertainment, which owns casinos in Sydney, Brisbane and the Gold Coast. Other regulators could also launch new probes. Experts have also called on Australia's anti-money laundering regulator AUSTRAC to investigate allegations